All right, so today you're going to be starting a new lesson in geometry. We're going to learn about transversals, parallel lines, and congruent angles. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of writing today. I'm going to need you guys to focus and write. The longer it takes you to get the information down, the more homework you're going to have tonight. So instead of interrupting and asking me a question that I'm not going to answer right now, I need you guys to focus and write down what I need you to write down. This is a standard we're covering. We're going to identify angles formed when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. So we're going to have quite a bit of information to do right now. So go ahead and start by copying down this information. Make sure you draw the pictures because the pictures are relevant. I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. Not more than 3 minutes, so don't waste your time. 3 minutes to copy down all this information. There's quite a bit that you're going to have to write down in your notes. Okay, so as you guys are finishing up writing this down, I'm going to go over what this says and then explain what they're talking about. So it says lines in the same plane that do not intersect are called parallel lines. So these intersect. You see that cross where they touch? That's an intersection. That is not a parallel line. These are called perpendicular. These two lines never cross. So these guys would be called parallel. A lot of times you'll see them and they have these marks here. Pay attention to this extra arrow that is not at the end of the line segment. This signifies that they are parallel. Okay? When we have a perpendicular line, you know you're going to have a right angle. A right angle is 90 degrees. And it's always signified by this box. Again, some of this is just review. Some of it might be new. So whenever you have two parallel lines, you're going to have a line that intersects those parallel lines. This is going to be called a transversal. Okay, so this line here that intersects my two parallel lines is the transversal. All right, I'm going to go on to the next slide. You guys ready? Save yourself some space. You can watch it tonight. All right, so corresponding angles. I'm going to have you guys copy this down as well. So I'll give you another 3 minutes to copy down this information. Make sure you draw the picture and write everything down. Okay, so we've also done congruent angles, right? So we understand that our arc marks tell us what angles are congruent to what arc marks. So this angle here is going to be congruent to this angle because they both have one arc mark. This angle has two arc marks and it's congruent to this angle because it has two arc marks. Here we have 3 congruent to this angle with 3, 4 congruent to this angle with 4. So we're going to learn about corresponding angles. So this angle corresponds to this angle and it is congruent because of the reason of being a corresponding angle. So when we have a parallel line with a transversal and you're only given the degree of this angle, then you automatically know the degree of this angle because it's a corresponding angle. Okay, and there's a lot more. We're just going to touch on the basics and then do some examples together. Okay, next, you're going to copy this down. Another 3 minutes. All right, keep writing as I talk about this. So this is, like I said, this is also in your book. So if you don't get to finish copying it down right now, you can take it right out of your book. Or you can watch the video again later tonight. So we're talking about two parallel lines that are cut by a transversal. Again, still two parallel lines. You see the hash marks here that tell you that they are parallel. This is a transversal. We usually label it as T. And it creates a bunch of angles. It creates 8 angles. 4 angles here, 4 angles here. So we're going to talk about interior and exterior angles. Okay? Interior, I like to kind of make this a car. Here's some headlights. Here's my bumper. What do you have inside the car? What do you call the inside of the car? You call it the interior, right? So your seats, your steering wheel, all that is in the interior. Out here in red are the exterior. So the outside of your vehicle is the exterior. So if you can kind of make that connection, that's going to help you out a little bit. Okay? So when we talk about interior angles, we're talking about the 4 angles that are inside the vehicle. When we talk about exterior angles, we are talking about the 4 angles that are outside. Okay, try and make that visual connection. It's going to help you. Even though your lines may be a little skewed sometimes, it will be a positive connection or a way for you to connect. I know most of you guys are boys in here, and you will be car heads someday. Okay, so we're going to copy down one more page, and then we're going to do some work together. So copy this down. This shouldn't take you too long, but I will continue to give you another 3 minutes. Okay, so alternate interior. This word alternate means opposite. So that's a good little side note to put there. So on the opposite side of the transversal, again, alternate. So on the opposite side of the transversal. So if we're looking at alternate, here's your transversal. These are your parallel lines, you know, because they are marked as parallel. So opposite side of the transversal, but still inside the car. Here we have opposite sides of the transversal on the outside of the vehicle. Okay, so those are information that you need to know. There's one more that we didn't write down, but I'll cover it as we go through our examples. Okay, is everybody ready? Anybody not ready? This is your opportunity to say, no, I'm not ready, Miss Carrillo. 2, 1. All right, so here we go. We're with our first example. I want you guys to copy down something that looks similar to this, and we're going to go ahead and solve it. Shouldn't take you long to just draw the transversal and 2 parallel lines. I would use your blue lines on your line paper to help you with the parallels. Give yourself some space in between them. They don't have to look exactly like this. You just need 2 lines and a line through it. I could probably do something similar with, so if you did a line this way, gave yourself some room, did another line this way, and then just kind of put a line through it. Super easy. You guys can do this. Once you've done that, I want you to number them and go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Angle 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So if we're looking at this, we know that this angle measures what? What does it measure? 59 degrees. So, oh, they label it different. Let me redo my numbers so that it is numbered like our example here. They did 1, 2, 3, and then 59. And then they did 4, 5, 6, 7. Funky numbering. I would have done it differently, but hey, it's the example they gave us. So we know that this is 59 degrees. Now, remember I said that there's another way of telling that an angle is congruent that we've done in the past, but we didn't mention it yet. Do you guys remember what it means? How I know that this angle, angle 2, is going to be 59? How do I know that angle 2 is going to measure 59 degrees? Talk to your table group. See? Okay, so I didn't hear a single response that gave me the clue. Noah, you want to try it? Why are they the same angle? What's the reason for it? What do we call, okay, I can say that angle, this angle is going to be congruent to this angle. It goes right across the vertices here because they are vertical. Okay, so angle 2 and angle, what, 4 are vertical angles. I know that angle 2 is going to be congruent because they are vertical. Okay, so I could say that angle 2 is congruent to angle 59 because it's a vertical angle. So if I know angle 2 and this one's 59, I know some other things as well. Go back to your notes and look at corresponding angles. Can you find any angles that are corresponding that are going to tell me what other angles measure because they're congruent? Look at your hash lines. What other angle is going to be congruent to this angle here? Anybody? Oh. All right, so if we go back to our notes, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll up here and go back up to corresponding angles. Okay, the picture with the hash marks. This one here, let's say that this was the one that we're calling angle that it measures 59 degrees. Okay, what other angle has these hash marks? This one here, correct? So we're also going to say that this is 59 degrees. We've already said that this one is a vertical angle because, so it also measures 59 degrees, right? So let's look at this one. What angle is congruent to this one? Out here, correct? Correct?
Yes.
So this one is also going to measure 59 degrees. And look, it's vertical to this one. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the problem. Okay, so we said that angle 59 is also congruent to angle 5. So angle 5 is also going to measure 59 degrees because it's corresponding.
What is that thing?
Angle 5. Angle 5. This is angle 5
Why you put angle?
because it's an angle. Okay, so angle 5 is also going to be 59 degrees, correct?
Yeah.
Now, what other, we said angle 2 is also 59 degrees, so I'm going to go ahead and measure it, mark it 59, 59, 59. So what is going to be congruent to angle 2? Angle 2 is going to be congruent to which angle? Corresponding. What other angle is it going to be corresponding? Look at your notes. Fine. These two angles are congruent because they are vertical. These two angles are congruent because they are corresponding. So what angle is angle 2 going to be congruent to based on that same corresponding angle theory? I just asked you what angle 2 is going to be congruent to. So if 59 is congruent to angle 5, look at the placement, look at the location. Angle 2, or 59, is on the top right, correct? It's congruent to the same angle in the top right of this set of 4 angles. What's the location of angle 2? What is the location of angle 2? Left, down. Correct? Left, down. So I'm going to go to this set of 4 angles. What is in that same left, down location? Angle 7. So angle 2 is going to be congruent to angle 7 because it is a corresponding angle. It is in the same location. So angle 7 is also going to measure what? What is the degree of angle 7? Thank you, Angel. 59 degrees. So now I have 4 corresponding angles or congruent angles. In order to learn the measurement of my last angle, I need to know what the sum of a straight line is. What is the sum of a straight line? When we're talking about degrees, if you're riding a skateboard and you're going straight and then you flip it all the way around, you call that a what? A 360, right? So half of 360 is your straight line. What is half of 360? So a straight line, the sum of the two angles in a straight line are going to equal 180. Okay, so we just decided, right, that the sum of two angles in a straight line equal what? What do they equal, Saul? You gave me the answer. 180 degrees. So if I know this angle is 59 degrees, can I figure out how much angle 1 is going to measure? By doing what?
Can I have Devin?
What do I need to do, guys?
Divide.
Not divide. I know this is 59. I know this plus this equals 180. How do I figure that out? Can I write an equation to solve that problem?
No. Yeah.
What should I do, Angel? I said 59 plus angle 1, all right, is going to equal what? What does it equal? Can I find the answer for angle 1?
Yeah.
What do I need to do? I got multiply, divide, add, and subtract. One of you needs to take this seriously and tell me what I need to do. Angel? If this is positive, so I'm going to have another 59 on this side and double it. Is that my goal? It's my goal to double 59 on this side? What is my goal then? What's my goal, Christian? I can't hear you. What about 4? This is angle 1. Angle 1. What's my goal? To find angle 1. How do I do that? How do I get angle 1 all by itself over here? What am I going to add? So, what do I need to do to find the measure of angle 1? From 59. What else? Okay. Why don't you just tell me I'm going to subtract 59 from both sides? Okay. Much easier? So what's my answer then?
Your answer is going to be 21.
So that means that the measurement of angle 1 is going to be 121 degrees. Can you tell me the measure of angle 3 now?
Yeah.
What's the measure of angle 3 going to be? Tyler, if the angle of measure 1 is 121, what is the angle or measure of angle 3 going to be? I'm sorry? Why 6? Look at this angle and this angle. Why did we say they measured the same? What is the reason for that? Jasmine? So what do we call that? They're vertical angles, right? So can I find the angle of measure 3 knowing that angle 1 is 121? They go straight across. So are they vertical angles? So what is the measure of angle 3? 121. Do I have corresponding angles that I can now find the measurement for? What is the position of angle 1? In these 4 angles, what is the position? Top, bottom? What is it? Top or bottom? Angle 1 is where? These 4 angles. Top or bottom? Top. Left or right? Top, left. Okay, so in these 4 angles, which angle is in the top left position? That means it's going to be congruent because it's a corresponding angle. This is going to be 121 degrees. Can you now tell me what angle 6 is going to measure? What's it going to measure? Karina? 121. Why? Can you tell me why? Because it's a vertical angle to angle 4. So I have corresponding and vertical. I know that the sum of 2 angles in a straight line equals 180, so I was able to find the angle of this measure, the measure of this angle. And then I have corresponding and vertical. Do I know each measure of every angle that is created by the transversal now? Yes, I do. We're going to do one more example. I hope you guys have this all written down. Okay, this is an intersection in the street. Okay, so this is like a fake photo of a portion of, oh, it looks like an airport. So we have some runways. These 2 lines are parallel. I can tell because it has my mark that tells me that they're parallel. This line that crosses them will be my transversal. It created 2 sets of 4 angles. Okay? So it says, describe the relationship between each pair of angles. So we're going to look at angle 3 and angle 6. What can you tell me? Are they inside the car or are they outside the car?
Outside the car.
So it's going to be exterior, right? These are exterior angles. Are they on the same side of the transversal or the opposite side of the transversal? That would make them alternate exterior angles. So I know that angle 3 is going to be congruent to angle 6. That's what I know. Now let's look at angle 2 and angle 7. Angle 2 and 7, are they inside or outside? Inside makes them interior. Are they on the same side of the transversal or on the opposite side? That makes them alternate interior. That means that angle 2 is going to be congruent or measure the same as angle 7. Christian, you with me? No. So let's look at angle 3. It says, in the example, the measure of angle 4 is 84 degrees. So I'm going to find angle 4, and I'm going to write down that it is 84 degrees. Let's undo that. 84 degrees. So if angle 4 measures 84 degrees, what is angle 3 going to measure? What do I need to do to figure this out? I already know it's 84. It's right there. I need to find the measure of angle 3. How do I do that? By subtracting. So I need to write an equation. What do I know angle 3 and 84 are going to equal? No. Think again. 84, and I'm going to call angle 3x, plus x is going to equal what? What is the sum of two angles in a straight line? Nope. What did we say the sum of two angles in a straight line equal? They equal 180. Can I solve this problem?
Yes.
Solve it.